Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today's video on the T-38 is interesting. There's no footage in this flight video of anything happening, but the flight after the video you're about to watch was interesting. I gave kind of a brief rundown after it happened on this video. You'll see at the end here, but it's not filmed, unfortunately. I wish it would have been because it was interesting, but basically we had a stab depart the airplane in flight at about what I would guess is 160 to 170 miles an hour. The airplane was really moving, flat and level. I wasn't diving it or anything, just full power. And I'm glad that I didn't put anything bigger than 80s in this thing because it really would have been a problem. But if you look at the vertical, you can see that it's also broken. But that's from the horizontal hitting it when it broke off. So anyways, I give a brief rundown of what happened at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that. But in the meantime, enjoy this footage of it not crashing on the flight before. So again, the airplane is all in one piece. I was able to land it safely, even though it was a very interesting landing, very on the edge of my seat type of landing. Lots of adrenaline and a little bit of nerves kicking in there, but I embraced my inner Hoover and kept flying the airplane instead of just giving up when I saw something large and white fly for the airplane at a very high rate of speed. So anyways, enjoy this flight. The airplane is flying awesome with the 2 pounds of lead out of the nose. It was flying great, and at sea level, so it was really flying well. So anyways, we'll get it fixed up. Needed some attention anyways. Cosmetically needed attention, so this is a good excuse to beef up the tails, so I'm not worried about anything in the future. I did know that the elevators were probably a little bit of a concern, although I wasn't expecting it to do it flat and level like that. So, and there was no signs of flutter or anything. It just straight snapped off the airplane, and I came by flat and level. Like I said, it was wide open, and I came out of a turn, then laid into the power, so it wasn't like I came diving at full throttle. But it accelerated. The plane's pretty clean, and the air dried up, so it was starting to thin out, and it was really moving. And I came by show center pretty low at about 20 feet maybe, and just started a real gentle climb off to the left. And I saw something white come off of it, and at first I thought it was the hatch or something because the airplane didn't seem upset until I went to go turn it. And then I was like, something's not right. And then I could see as it was turning, coming across, it was pretty far out at that point, that it was definitely missing a tail. So, and I backed off the power already when I saw something come off the airplane. I didn't know if it was the canopy or the hatch. It was hard to tell because it was pretty far away. But anyways, I tried the flaps. They did not like that because it lands fast without flaps. I'm thinking, geez, I'm gonna have a hard time getting this thing on the runway without flaps. But anyways, I tried the flaps and it started to pitch down pretty hard, and I couldn't pull it up, so I got rid of the flaps and then just came in no flap. Had to use the rudder to keep it level, and I was fighting it pretty much the whole way in, especially around the flare. So pretty much the whole base to final turn was very interesting. And honestly, I thought as soon as I flew overhead the first time with the gear out, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get it back on the ground safely. So anyways, it's in one piece. Honestly, shouldn't be that hard to fix. It'll probably take me a couple days to fix it. But get it fixed and get it back out in the air, and then we'll see about a different paint scheme in the future, possibly. Anyways, this thing's getting pretty beat up, so it needs some love. Anyways, like I said, hope you liked the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we're out the field today. I'm getting ready to fly the Talon, not on a lake bed. Made a couple of changes to it. I got 2 pounds of nose weight out of it by moving the receiver and turbine packs to the nose. So see how that goes. Bentley's out here flying his little Saber. Anyways, so we'll give it a flight, and should be, I mean, it's 2 pounds lighter, which obviously Might not even notice on a 50-pound airplane, but hopefully the CG, it was a little nose heavy before, so I think I'm a little bit farther back now, not a whole lot. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, check out the video. makes a really cool sound as it goes by. What happened to our headwind, man? That sucks. Alright, well, let's do a couple of touch and goes here. The wind totally switched around on us. That's interesting. Alright, I guess I'm gonna land from the other way. Come back in from this side. That was weird. Never seen the wind come out of that direction. Alright, let's try this again. Now that's dead calm. The little headwind we had earlier sure helped a lot. That was way too hot an approach anyways. This thing's deceiving. You see the nose down, it's definitely going too fast. Earlier, my first flight, we had about a 5-7 mile an hour headwind, and it landed and rolled out about 200 feet. It is dead calm right now, so that was and we can't really use that end of the runway because it's got a bunch of bumps in it, so we have to land kind of midfield and down. So. Anyways, but the 2 pounds on the nose, it's all going to do now, so pretty happy with it. Alright, well, you just saw the flight video of the airplane flying really well. On the flight after, the elevator broke off on a really hot pass, and I was just talking to a buddy today saying I wish I knew where the structural limits of the airplane were, and I think we found them. So what happened was, this is 1/4 inch piano wire, and I drilled through it for the bolt for the servo arm. It's a 2-inch long bolt that goes through there. Anyways, obviously snapped off right at the bolt hole. The airplane, the air has just dried out, and the airplane was really moving, and I just said to myself, man, it's really moving. And I started to pull up into a climb, and the tail just ripped right off, and was fairly controllable until I started slowing down. Then it started to get a little unhappy. I was having to use the rudder to keep it straight, and obviously I tried using the flaps to help it because it lands really fast with no flaps, and this runway isn't forever long. So anyways, I tried flaps. That wasn't going to happen. It started to nosedive pretty good, so I put the flaps back up, came back around, and then just landed it flaps up and rolled off and through the dirt. But it came up and it hit the tail. Here, back up a little bit. And it snapped. It broke the tail really bad. So it broke the hinge on the top of the rudder. This all broke. Anyways, so she's in need of some structural repairs and some upgrades on the elevator. So looking at possible options, but anyways, it's back in one piece. Again, this airplane has definitely more than one life. It is just if anyone knows the story of this airplane, they know how many times this airplane is supposed to have died and just hasn't. So anyways, but it's on the ground and it's in one piece mostly, and we'll fix it up and fly it again at some point. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one. So, addendum to the video. I was just looking at it. I noticed these orange marks on the inside right here, and then up on the front a little bit as well. That's from orange overspray on the inside of the stab from the previous paint scheme. And I'm just looking at it going, man, how'd that happen? But basically, so these stabs do flex a little bit if you really pull on them. I'm thinking what happened is it may have induced some flutter that I couldn't see. It looks like it rubbed pretty hard right here, maybe up front too, and then when it snapped, it broke off and came across the rudder like that, because there's an indentation right there across the rudder. And it snapped the rudder in half, basically, and then in the shock from it hitting, this thing's pretty heavy. It's a pound or so. These things are really beefy. These stabs are crazy strong. It's carbon fiber. So, came across, hit that, broke the tail. Anyways. So, it could have been flutter, and I think part of the problem is that this 1/4-inch piano wire has some torsional flex in it. Not so much, I mean, obviously it'll flex a little bit like this too, but I think it was flexing like that, and then having the hole drilled through it for the bolt, not the greatest idea. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a larger rod for one. I'm going to cut these out, put larger rods in it, and instead of the torsional stress from the servo and the flight loads going through the rod, I'm going to make a large fiberglass or carbon fiber control arm that is on the surface, and I'll have the servo mounted on the surface on its side. Somewhere, it could even be in here on this, or somewhere in here. But anyways, I'll mount to the fuse. That way the torsional loads go straight into the servo, and there's nothing, there won't be any slop like this, because when you powered it on, you could flex them a little bit, not a ton, but I mean, this is a huge flight control surface. So anyways, lesson learned. If it didn't happen today, it would have happened at some other point. So we're going to fix it, make it stronger, and in the future, I won't have to worry about the airplane going too fast and having a problem like this. So anyways, it's in one piece. We're going to fix it, and we'll see you in the next one. Scratch that. Another addendum to the video. So I wanted to show you guys how my stab setup works. So this is the good side. So you can see where the bolt goes through the rod right there, and the rod is supported on this plywood spar with carbon fiber wrap around brass tube that keeps the metal dowel in there, right? So here's the side that broke. As you can see, the bolt's perfectly fine. It just snapped the end off in here, so you can see where it broke off. Anyways, so I'm gonna have to cut the whole spar off to get this thing out of here. Then I'll cut out all the old stuff and make all new stuff. Anyways, just thought I'd show you guys really quick. Okay, so was this fourth addendum to the video? I don't know. Anyways, I cut this out, so I wanted to show you guys. So this is it's a ply. It looks bad because it's been cut with a cut-off wheel, but a 1/4-inch birch ply, and then I did a carbon fiber layup on both sides. So this is the brass tube that's held on with the carbon toe straps, and then this is the, put this down. This is how it actuated, right? So that's what the bolt was for, and that's where it broke right there, where it bolts together. And you can see the other end in here, right here, where the threads are. That's where it snapped off. So I think my idea is I'll probably do a similar spar, but I'm gonna go with a larger size pivot. This is 1/4-inch. I'll probably do a 5/16, and then I'm gonna do a large servo arm down here that's all kind of built into the stab. And then I'll have the servo sit right here with a little push rod, so it'll be direct connection to this. That way the only loads that this has to carry are the normal structural loads. The pivot and torsional loads would go straight to the servo. So, and like I said, it was twisting before too, between here and here, so there was some torsional twisting. It's because piano wire is kind of like a spring in a certain way. So anyways, so I just wanted to show you guys. It's cut out. I got the turbines pulled out of it. I'll glue in this. I'm gonna add, so there you can see that's my spar that goes down to the floor from the tail, and it goes up. You can actually see the dust stuck to from grinding on it. The static electricity stuck the dust to the spar because it's carbon fiber. It's crazy, right? Anyways, so I'm gonna put a second spar that runs kind of the same idea. So it runs through this way down to the floor here. So this should really strengthen up the vertical with a second spar, and then with these being beefed up, should be good to go. So anyways, that's it for now. We'll see you the next one for the 4th time.